I was tagged by Kirby the Bookish Nurse to do the summer tag. I'm super excited to do this, and I've never been tagged before, so thank you so much for tagging me in this. Such a fun experience. I am going to tag 3 other YouTubers to do this tag. I have let them know that I'm going to, and I will link their links down below and state who they are at the end of the video. Let me introduce myself. I am Marissa Danforth, and on this channel I do book reviews. I talk about the books that I'm getting, my wish list. I also read dark and twisty. I love series, fantasy. I love all kinds of stuff. So if you're into bookish content, I'm here for you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's move on to the video. So the first question is, an iced drink. What's a refreshing book you have read? I chose The Blind Date by Lauren Landish. I thought it was so cute and refreshing. I normally read dark and twisted, so to have a light-hearted book sometimes is just what I need, and that's what this was for me. It's about Riley and Noah. So Riley gets talked into using an app called Blind Date, and what it is you do a questionnaire and make an About Me section, and it pairs your results with someone, and you can get into touch with them. So she talks to this guy Noah for a couple weeks and decides to meet him, and it turns out it is her brother's best friend. Now, from what she knew and when she had met him, he is the complete opposite than her. She's a sunshine influencer. She likes to spread positivity, and he is negative Nancy over here and super grumpy. So she had no idea how they would work. So it's just the story about them coming together. I thought it was really cute, really refreshing, funny as all get out, and super enjoyable. Let's go to the next question. Cotton Candy. What's a book that was fluffy and sweet? I chose Call Me Maybe by Cara Bastone. Sorry. But this book was so cute, so funny, and I actually listened to the Audible version of it. It's such a unique style of writing. The whole book is them conversating. You know how sometimes when you read a book, it tells you the story and what's going on in their mind, and then kind of how they conversate. This is not like that. It is just conversation, which I thought was super unique. And it's just funny. Like, their chemistry is really good, and it's over a phone call. So she has problems with her business website, so she calls tech support, and Cal is the one that answers the phone, and he guides her through the problem, and at the same time he's learning about how to improve his business too. So it's just really cute banter, a really cute love story, and just their first interaction of being on the phone for hours and then ending up meeting after that. Really cute. I suggest everyone should listen to the book because it just made it that much better. Next, Sunglasses. Name a dark book you've read. I've read too many. I'm gonna have to say With Visions of Red by Trisha Wolfe. I really liked this book, and it was super dark. It's pretty much about a woman who has a really bad past, a really terrible experience happened to her. So she ends up going into crime scene investigation. She analyzes the crime scene, and she's a profiler. It turns out a serial killer is trying to impress her and recruit her into his line of passions, leaving dead bodies as gifts for her, which is kind of scary. So it's like a murder mystery thriller, and it's also a romance too, because she ends up falling in love with someone too during this whole process of let's try to find the killer. Really good. Picnic on a Rainy Day. Name a sad book that you have read. I'm going to have to say the book Say You'll Stay by Corrine Michaels. Such a good book, but it had me bawling like within the first few chapters. It is about a woman who 17 years in the past had her heart shattered by what she had believed to be the love of her life. She moved on got married, had twins, and her husband betrays her in the worst of ways. So she ends up homeless, moneyless. She lost her business and everything. So she has to go back to her hometown. And that's when she runs into her ex, which wasn't supposed to be there. And it's just about their story of them coming back together on even if they should get back together, especially since there's kids involved now, and the trauma for what she just went through with her husband. Really good book. I really suggest it. It is actually a series too, so I've read most of them. I think I have one more to go, but I need a break between sad books sometimes because the second book made me cry too. All right, next is Sand. What's a book you were irritated by? I would have to say Burn Falls by Kimberly Knight. Now, this was a good book. I originally rated it 4 stars because the ending is really good and the story is really interesting, but I was led to believe it was more of a romance, but it is, but it's not until the end. But it's about a woman who was living in Philadelphia, and she comes to her hometown in Burn Falls to visit her family. Her dad gets attacked, and she ends up having to stay to run the distillery that her family owns. She runs into Draven, which is the doctor that tried to save her dad's life. Now, Draven turns out to be a vampire that has run from his coven, became a doctor, and pretty much vowed to never take an innocent life or hurt someone that's innocent. So he's trying to figure out the vampire that's in his territory that attacked this woman's dad. And he doesn't know if it's the coven he ran from or just another vampire in his territory. So it's like based around that story the most. Still a good book, but just disappointing because I wasn't expecting that. Now, this one didn't have an original name. It was just what's your favorite book to movie adaptation. I named it Margarita. So Margarita, what's your favorite book adaptation? I'm going to take the cop out and say Harry Potter because I can't think of another one, and I enjoyed it. I mean, I read the books and I watched the movies, so Harry Potter it is. I don't really need to go into what it's about, right? Everyone knows. Kid, magic, Hogwarts, goes there, defeats a bunch of stuff. Yeah, we got it? Okay, cool. Dropped Ice Cream. What's a book that you were anticipating but was disappointed by? It was book 43 of the Children of God series by I.T. Lucas. I obviously like the series because it's book 43. I was disappointed in that one because it kind of strayed away from the format that was normally used through the rest of the books. You have these immortals that have vampiric traits, and they have DNA from the gods. They're trying to save their species and find out who can be switched into an immortal. Every book has a love story. The last book that I read had the love story elements, but it didn't finish it. I got left hanging. So I'm going to pick it up again soon and see if the next book has the end of their love story. But it was disappointing. I just felt kind of what happened. It just felt like a really shortened, rushed, unfinished story. Even though it's a series and the series kind of never end. But this one was just disappointing to me. Next. Palm Tree. Name a book that you loved. Okay. So this is actually 3 books that I loved. It is the preppy part of the King series. It's books 5, 6, and 7. They're all 3 his story, so I'm counting it as 1. It's just about how Preppy was kidnapped for a year, and everyone thought he was dead because they witnessed him getting shot and taken to the hospital, and the doctor told them he was deceased. But really, he was captured, tortured for a year, and after the year, somebody finds him, takes him out of the situation, and it's him adapting back into life and falling in love and figuring out how to readjust back into society. I loved Preppy. Just throughout the whole series, he was my favorite character too. So yes, that's the one. Oh, it's by T.M. Frazier. Bonfire. What's a book that you want to burn? Gone with the Wind by Margaret Mitchell. I want to burn that book. Sorry, Grandma. I actually have a review coming out about it where I read my friends and family's favorite books, and I chose my grandma to do first, and it's Gone with the Wind. I liked the book, but I'm still really conflicted about it. Oh, this is the last one. Okay, Fireworks. Name a book that exploded onto the scene. Okay, so I don't really know what they're asking for, so I chose a couple different options. I chose to go the route of one that really shocked me and a couple that I've heard a lot about. So the one that really shocked me would be Credence by Penelope Douglas. I was not expecting to like the book as much as I did. It made me uncomfortable, but turned into a beautiful story of a girl falling in love in the mountains. Yeah. And then the other ones were Ace of Spades, and I cannot pronounce the name that wrote it. So I'm just going to call her Frida A. Ace of Spades keeps popping up, and it is on my wish list. I'm going to read it after I finish the Zodiac Academy series. It sounds so good, right up my alley, and everyone that I've been watching on YouTube has said amazing things about it. So I'm really excited for that. And Six of Crows. It is written by Lee Bardugo. Okay, judge me, come at me, correct me. I don't know how to say it, but I've seen a lot of really good reviews on it, and I kind of want to read it. So I feel like that's Fireworks too, because everybody else is talking about it. So I said I would state the 3 people I am tagging to do this. I am tagging Locke's Library because I really enjoy her content, and we kind of have similar tastes, so I'm really excited to see what she comes out with. Just One More Page. I, 1, really enjoy her content once again, and 2, just discovering I'm kind of getting into the horror scene and thrillers and stuff like that, so she's kind of become my go-to to see what I want to put on my wish list and her thoughts on some books. I've already read one of the books she suggested, and it was so good. That's going to be in my August wrap-up, end of summer wrap-up video. And also Kelly Lynn and the books. I've watched a few of hers. She is a part of a ton of readathons. She sets all kinds of challenges that she really tries to hold herself to for what she wants to read, and I find that really inspiring, so I'm tagging her too. I really hope they do it because I want to know their answers. This was so much fun, and I don't know, I love tags, so I will definitely be doing more of them. I hope you have a fantastic day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And bye. Thank you. Ooh, and I will put the questions in my description box if anybody else wants to do this tag too. So, okay, for real.